In the heart of Rome, 100 BCE, a child is born to the noble yet modest Julian clan. His name, Gaius Julius Caesar. Though his family boasts ancient roots, they lack wealth and political clout. Yet, from his earliest days, Caesar is different, sharp, bold, and consumed by a fire that whispers of greatness. Rome doesn't yet know it, but its future is quietly stirring. As a young man, Caesar's life is threatened by the dictator Lucius Cornelius Sulla, who views him as a potential threat. Caesar refuses to divorce his politically dangerous wife, Cornelia, defying a direct order. Sulla spares him, but with a chilling warning. There are many Mariuses in this Caesar. The encounter marks his first brush with tyranny and teaches him to be patient and ruthless. Exiled from Rome, Caesar joins the military in Asia Minor. There, amid the clashing of swords and cries of war, he proves his bravery. In one campaign, he even earns a civic crown for saving a fellow Roman. Combat becomes his crucible, where ambition is hardened into action. The sword becomes as natural to him as the tongue. On his way back to Rome, Caesar is kidnapped by Cilician pirates. They demand a ransom of 20 talents. Caesar laughs and insists they ask for 50. For weeks, he jokes with his captors, promising to crucify them once free. And when the ransom is paid, and he's released, he raises a private fleet, hunts the pirates down, and keeps his promise. One by one, they hang from crosses. Back in Rome, Caesar begins ascending the political ladder, the cursus honorum. With charm, wit, and bribes, he wins hearts and offices. As a skilled orator, he stirs the Senate. As a populist, he courts the mob. Each step upward is a calculated strike. He's not just climbing, he's laying siege to power itself. Caesar weds Pompeia, niece of the powerful dictator Sulla, using the marriage to strengthen his political alliances. Yet love is never the motive, only leverage. When a scandal shames her during a sacred festival, Caesar divorces her with the words, "Caesar's wife must be above suspicion." Even family becomes expendable in his rise. In 60 BCE, Caesar orchestrates a secret pact with Rome's two most powerful men, Pompey the Great, the military hero, and Crassus, the richest man in Rome. This First Triumvirate allows them to bypass the Senate and control Rome from the shadows. Caesar becomes consul, then governor of Gaul, with an army now at his command. For nearly a decade, Caesar wages brutal war in Gaul. He slaughters, conquers, and writes it all down in the Commentari de Bello Gallico, a masterstroke of propaganda. As tribes fall and Caesar's coffers swell, his legend grows. He's not just fighting for Rome, he's building an empire for himself. 49 BCE. The Senate, now fearing Caesar's power, orders him to disband his army and return as a private citizen. Instead, Caesar stands at the Rubicon River, the boundary of Rome. With a whisper, "Alea iacta est," the die is cast. He crosses with his legions. It's treason, it's war, and there's no turning back. Rome descends into chaos. Caesar marches south. Pompey flees to Greece. The Senate trembles. Friends become enemies, and brother slays brother. But Caesar, ever relentless, chases Pompey across seas, determined to crush all opposition, even if it means burning the Republic to ashes. In 48 BCE, the forces of Caesar and Pompey clash at Pharsalus. Outnumbered, Caesar's tactical genius wins the day. Pompey flees to Egypt, hoping for sanctuary. Instead, he is betrayed and beheaded. When Caesar arrives and sees Pompey's severed head, he weeps, not for the man, but for what Rome has become. In Alexandria, Caesar meets Cleopatra VII. Enchanted by her intellect and ambition, he helps her seize Egypt's throne. The two form a powerful alliance, political and intimate. Their affair produces a child, Caesarion. In Cleopatra, Caesar finds a mirror, cunning, regal, dangerous. In Pontus, Caesar swiftly defeats Pharnaces II, son of Mithridates. He sends back a message to Rome. 3 words, Veni, Vidi, Vici. I came, I saw, I conquered. It's not just a victory cry, it's a declaration of identity. Caesar is no longer a general, he is Rome. Caesar returns to Rome, triumphant. The Senate, broken and fearful, grants him dictatorship. He accepts, then extends the term. His face is stamped on coins, statues rise, a throne-like golden chair is set for him in the Senate. The Republic gasps for air as Caesar tightens his grip. As dictator, Caesar enacts sweeping reforms, calendar overhauls, debt relief, land redistribution. Some hail him as a savior, others see a tyrant in disguise. But Caesar is unbothered. He is already dreaming of a monarchy, of divine kingship, of legacy carved in marble. At a public festival, Mark Antony offers Caesar a crown. He refuses 3 times, but the crowd sees the game. The stage is being set for a king. And behind the scenes, knives begin to sharpen. Some senators believe Caesar has crossed the final line. Whispers of conspiracy echo through Rome's marble halls. A group of senators, calling themselves the Liberators, plot Caesar's death. Among them, Brutus, once Caesar's protégé. The irony is suffocating. Caesar trusts him. The betrayal will sting deeper than steel. Soothsayers warn Caesar to beware the Ides of March. His wife Calpurnia dreams of blood. Yet Caesar dismisses them all. Cowards die many times before their deaths, he says. On March 15th, 44 BCE, he walks into the theater of Pompeii, into history. Surrounded by men he once called allies, Caesar is stabbed 23 times. He doesn't resist. But when he sees Brutus among them, his voice breaks. Et tu, Brute! The blade that strikes his heart is not the sharpest, only the most personal. The assassins believe they've saved the Republic. Instead, they've doomed it. The people riot. Caesar's blood has not washed away tyranny. It has fertilized an empire. Rome begins to fracture. Power rushes in to fill the void. Caesar's will names his grandnephew, Octavian, as heir. A teenager becomes the inheritor of an empire. Quietly, ruthlessly, Octavian begins consolidating power. The Senate watches a new Caesar rise, one with fewer scruples and even greater ambition. Mark Antony allies with Cleopatra, challenging Octavian for control of Rome. Their romance becomes a war story. At Actium, Octavian triumphs. Antony and Cleopatra choose death over defeat. Rome weeps, but the Republic does not return. In 27 BCE, Octavian becomes Augustus, the first Roman emperor. The Republic dies with barely a whisper. What Caesar began with a crossing of the Rubicon, Augustus finishes with a crown. Rome is no longer a republic. It is an empire ruled by one man. In death, Caesar becomes more powerful than in life. The Senate declares him a god. Temples are built. Festivals held. The man who once walked the Forum now reigns from the heavens. Rome remembers him not as a traitor, but as a titan. Even today, Caesar remains a paradox. Was he a hero or a tyrant? A savior or a destroyer? His actions ended a 500-year-old republic, but forged the greatest empire the world had ever seen. Power corrupted him. But perhaps Rome needed that corruption to survive. His name becomes a title, Caesar, passed down to emperors, echoed in Kaiser and Tsar. Every ruler who dared to reshape the world heard echoes of Julius Caesar in their own ambitions. He did not merely die, he multiplied. The Roman Republic never truly returned. Caesar's assassination did not save democracy. It proved its fragility. And for centuries to come, leaders would look to him not as a cautionary tale, but as a blueprint. Caesar teaches us that power, once seized, rarely lets go. That ambition, unchecked, can raise nations or raise them, and that history is not made by the cautious, but by those who dare to cross the Rubicon. Rome fell, but Caesar's fire never died. His vision, his daring, and his ruthless brilliance still echo in the corridors of power around the world. In every political gamble and every grasp for control, his ghost watches silently. Julius Caesar's grip on power crushed a republic, but it birthed an empire. In that moment, Rome ceased to be a state of laws and became a stage of legends. And Caesar, in his rise and fall, became the most enduring legend of them all.